Hey everybody, and welcome back to Sip and Talk, the place where we grab a bunch of info and kind of squeeze out the juicy bits for you. Think of us as your shortcut to sounding super smart, you know.
And today, that shortcut is taking us on a bit of a world tour. We're exploring the fascinating world of etiquette. Got our virtual passports stamped and ready.
Exactly. We are ready. And you guys, wow, you flooded our inbox after our last deep dive. Remember that one on toilet etiquette?
Oh, I remember. Some of those messages were memorable. Hilarious, really.
Seriously unbelievable. But all that amazing feedback got us thinking. We've got this incredible global community tuning in from all over. So why not dive into what makes us all tick, socially speaking? And then maybe what makes us, scratch our heads sometimes. Etiquette.
It's such a fantastic lens, isn't it, to understand different cultures. What's totally normal and polite in one place might raise a few eyebrows somewhere else.
Totally. It really highlights the diverse ways we humans organize ourselves and, well, just interact.
Exactly. Those everyday actions often reflect really deep-seated values. Things like respect, community, even how we think about personal space.
Okay, so we've pulled together some of the really interesting, sometimes kind of surprising do's and don'ts. We looked at Taiwan, our home turf, the US of A, the UK, Japan, and South Korea, places where we know a bunch of you are listening from.
Yeah, get ready for some aha moments. Maybe some, oh, I didn't know that moments too. Some of this stuff is, well, quite eye-opening.
Definitely. Let's unpack this, shall we? Where should we start?
How about Taiwan? Let's kick things off there.
Perfect. Now, I love a good celebration, and Taiwanese festivals sound like they are on another level. Spring Festival, for instance. It's not just like a day off.
No, it's a whole process.
Right. Deep clean the house. Got to sweep out that bad luck, apparently. And then the food. Special stuff like neon gear, long life greens, and they all mean something.
Symbolizing prosperity, long life. It's rich in symbolism. The cleaning signifies a fresh start.
And everything's red. Decorations everywhere. Plus, staying up all night. Sounds intense, but kind of amazing, too.
It does. And then you have Alu, the Lantern Festival. Beautiful, bright, peaceful lanterns floating.
Yeah, lovely images. But then, hold on. In Yanshui, they have exploding firecrackers. And people actually, stand there and get bummed by them.
Yeah, that's quite a contrast to just waving sparklers. Braving the firecrackers is meant to ward off evil spirits, apparently.
Yeah.
A very active form of celebration.
Wow. Okay. And then the flying lanterns in Pingxi. Those look incredible, too. So two very different vibes happening.
It really shows the multifaceted nature of cultural expression. Beauty and wishes on one hand, warding off negativity on the other.
Okay, so maybe you're not dodging fireworks every day. What about just, normal life, mealtime? Sharing dishes seems to be the norm, which I love more to try.
Very communal, yeah. And serving chopsticks or spoons is becoming more common now.
Right, for hygiene. Makes sense. But get this, the host will apparently really push you to eat more, really encourage you.
And the polite thing for the guest
is to refuse a little bit at first. Oh, no, I couldn't possibly. But then you give in. It's like this little polite dance.
It is. It's a common social script in many East Asian cultures. Shows you're not greedy, lets the host show generous hospitality.
Okay, dining rule number 1, maybe. Don't stick your chopsticks straight up in your rice. Big no-no.
Huge no-no. It looks like the incense sticks used at funerals. So, yeah, very bad form, culturally sensitive.
Wow, good to know. And when you toast, if you're younger, you hold your glass lower than the older person's.
A sign of respect. A visual cue of humility and deference to seniority. Subtle, but important.
Right. What about the workplace in Taiwan? Sounds like harmony is key.
Very much so. Respecting the boss, avoiding public disagreements. That's crucial for smooth operation and group cohesion.
And long hours seem pretty common. Kind of showing your dedication.
That can be part of it, yeah. Commitment to the team, to the company goals. And in meetings.
Mostly listen, right? Unless you're directly asked for input, don't just jump in.
Generally, yes. It aligns with that value of harmony and respecting the established structure.
Oh. And gifts. If you give a gift, use both hands.
Yes, always both hands.
Yeah.
It shows sincerity and respect for the recipient, elevates the act beyond just handing something over.
Okay. Time to jet back stateside. Let's talk good old American etiquette. Some of this feels like breathing to us, but maybe not to everyone.
Like the basics, please and thank you.
Absolutely huge. Forget those. And people might genuinely think you're being rude. Seriously, it's like rule number 1.
They're fundamental politeness markers. Signal, consideration, and apologies.
Oh, yeah. Bump into someone. Pardon me. Excuse me. Sorry. It's almost automatic, just acknowledging the other person.
In a big don't.
Do not ask a woman her age.
Yeah.
Ever. Just don't. It's considered really intrusive.
A widely recognized taboo, definitely. Yeah. Age is often seen as very personal.
Okay, punctuality. We Americans are pretty strict about being on time, wouldn't you say?
Generally, yes. Being late can feel disrespectful of the other person's time. It reflects a value on efficiency.
But showing up super early isn't great either. It can make the host feel rushed.
Right. There's a sweet spot, maybe 10-15 minutes before or right on time. And if you are running late...
Oh, definitely give a heads up. A quick text or call is always appreciated.
Common courtesy. Okay, next one. Maybe obvious, but crucial.
Personal hygiene. Non-negotiable. Seriously. Body odor, bad breath, greasy hair. It's kind of social suicide.
Well, it's certainly not appreciated. Regular showers, deodorant, basic consideration for others around you.
Especially if you just worked out. Freshen up before meeting people, please.
Good advice. How about public behavior?
Right. Spitting in public. Big no. Unless maybe you're a baseball player on the field.
Perhaps an exception there. But otherwise, use a tissue, dispose of it properly.
And personal space. We like our bubble. About an arm's length feels right for most interactions.
Yeah, it reflects that individualism and personal boundary preference. We're not typically big on casual cheek kisses with strangers or new acquaintances.
Nope. A handshake is standard. Or maybe just a wave and a smile. And we usually jump to first names pretty quickly.
Unless someone is clearly much older or in a position of definite authority, then you might stick with titles for a bit longer.
True. Eye contact. Super important here.
Yes. Shows you're listening, engaged, and respect the speaker. Not making eye contact can seem evasive or disinterested.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What about lines? Cues.
Oh, line cutting. Don't even think about it. It's a major social sin.
Seriously. People will call you out. If you have to leave the line for a second, ask someone nearby to hold your spot. Politely.
Right. And if you have complicated questions about coupons or discounts?
Don't hold up the checkout line. Yeah. Take it to customer service. Be considerate of others waiting.
Good point. How about initiating conversation?
Small talk. It's our go-to, especially when meeting someone new. Keep it light weather, maybe weekend plans.
Easy, low-stakes topics. But if someone seems uncomfortable or says something's personal?
Just drop it. Respect their boundary. Don't push or pry.
Okay. Gifting. We don't have super elaborate gift-giving traditions compared to some places, right?
Not really. But if you're invited to someone's home for dinner, bringing a little something is a really nice gesture.
Like what?
Bottle of wine, maybe some nice chocolates, flowers, a small local treat if you're visiting from out of town. Just a token of thanks for their hospitality.
Acknowledges their effort. Nice touch. Table manners.
Ah, yes. American-style dining. You cut with the knife in your right hand, fork in the left, holding the food. Then you put the knife down and switch the fork to your right hand to eat the piece.
Takes some coordination.
Yeah. Keep elbows off the table, chew with your mouth closed. Basic stuff. And tipping.
Crucial in the U.S. Around 20% is pretty standard for decent service at a restaurant.
Yeah, it's expected as part of the server's income. And definitely don't snap your fingers or whistle to get their attention. Just try to make eye contact or give a subtle hand signal.
Very rude otherwise. And passing dishes at a family meal.
Don't reach across the table. Ask the person closest to what you want to please pass it down.
Keeps things orderly, workplace basics.
Be on time, participate in meetings, show you're engaged. Emails tend to be pretty direct and to the point.
Efficiency again. We value individualism, so workplaces can feel casual, but professionalism and respect are still underlying expectations.
Definitely. Oh, and a weird one. Elevator etiquette.
Yes. Face the doors. It's this unspoken rule. Avoids awkward staring.
Just keep things neutral in that little moving box. Okay, let's hop across the pond. The UK.
Yes. Known for politeness, maybe a bit more reserved than America.
That's the stereotype, yeah. Lots of please and thank yous. Handshakes for first meetings are standard.
And titles Mr., Mrs., Mrs. tend to be used a bit longer until you know someone better or they suggest using first names.
Right, a bit more formal initially. And avoid getting too personal too quickly. Topics like salary, maybe politics, probably best to steer clear early on.
Good advice. And queuing.
Oh, the queue culture is legendary. Do not cut in line in the UK. You will face the wrath of silent but intense disapproval. Glare factor 10.
Yes, fairness and order in the queue are paramount. Dining manners there.
Generally more formal than the US. It's the European style.
Right.
Keep the fork in your left hand and the knife in your right throughout the meal. No switching.
Okay.
Napkin goes on your lap right away. When you're done, fold it loosely and place it on the table, usually to the left of your plate.
And soup.
Spoon scoops away from you.
Yeah.
And absolutely no slurping. Elbows off the table, sit up straight. Try not to cross your legs at the table.
More structured and timing.
It's considered polite to wait for elders to be seated before starting. And generally, you don't leave the table until everyone, especially the hosts or elders, has finished.
So pace yourself. Could be a long meal.
Could be. Workplace in the UK.
Punctuality is important, as is a professional appearance. Hierarchy can be a bit more defined than in some U.S. workplaces, so decisions might take a bit longer going up the chain.
Makes sense. And humor.
Common, definitely. Especially self-deprecating humor. But, like anywhere, be careful not to cause offense. Read the room.
Good point. Oh, and elevators again. Any difference?
Anecdotally, some say Europeans in general might prefer facing the side walls rather than directly at the doors or other people. Less direct confrontation, perhaps.
Interesting. Minimizing awkwardness seems universal. What if you're invited for a meal in the UK?
Bringing a small gift, especially something representative of your home country if you're visiting internationally, is a very thoughtful gesture.
Nice touch. And if you accept an invitation?
Be on time. Punctuality matters. And for more formal events, always double-check the invitation for a dress code and adhere to it.
Shows respect for the occasion and the hosts. Okay, deep breath. Let's head east. Japan.
Japan. Etiquette here gets really specific and deeply ingrained. Fascinating stuff.
Right. Okay, big one first. Chopsticks. Never ever pass food directly from your chopsticks to someone else's.
Absolutely critical rule. It directly mimics the ritual of passing cremated bones at funerals, so it's a major taboo, deeply offensive.
Whoa, okay, definitely avoid that. What else with food?
When eating things like sashimi or nigiri sushi, try to eat it in one bite if possible.
Why is that?
It respects the chef's construction. Taking 2 bites can cause the rice to fall apart, seen as less elegant.
Got it. 1 bite it is. And eating noises. Generally quiet, right?
Generally, yes. Quiet eating is preferred, except for noodles.
The famous exception, slurping noodles.
Totally okay. In fact, it's often seen as a sign that you're really enjoying them. It shows appreciation.
That's kind of fun. A specific rule just for noodles. Before eating.
Say, itadakimasu. Usually with hands pressed together briefly. It expresses gratitude for the meal, to the food itself, the chef, the farmers, everyone involved.
Nice. And after?
Gochisusama dashita, or just gochisusama. Again, thanking everyone for the delicious meal.
Lovely traditions. And more chopstick rules, no licking them.
No licking, no stabbing food with them, no pointing with them, and definitely no passing food chopstick to chopstick, as we said. Very important.
Okay. Outside of meals. Entering someone's home.
Shoes off, always. Take them off in the entrance area, the jinkan, and usually turn them around neatly facing the door.
Okay. And maybe say something as you enter.
A polite ojamashimasu, which basically means, excuse me for intruding or sorry for disturbing you.
Nice. What about eating on the go?
Generally frowned upon. Eating while walking isn't common or considered polite. Better to stop somewhere to eat or drink.
Good to know.
Yeah.
And tipping.
Big difference here. Don't tip. Service is expected to be excellent as standard, and tipping can actually be seen as confusing or even insulting.
Wow. Okay. Completely opposite of the U.S. greetings.
Bowing is standard. The depth and duration of the bow depend on the social status relationship between the people. It's quite nuanced.
More formal than a handshake.
Often, yes, especially in business or more formal settings. Exchanging business cards, meishi, is also a very important ritual.
How so?
You present and receive cards with both hands, respectfully. Take a moment to actually read the card you receive before putting it away carefully, maybe in a card holder. Shows respect for the person and their position.
Both hands again. Seems like a theme showing respect. What about eye contact?
Generally, prolonged direct eye contact can be seen as somewhat confrontational or overly intense. Less direct gaze is often more comfortable.
Interesting contrast to the U.S. there. Workplace in Japan.
Very hierarchical. Harmony wa is extremely important. Use polite language, especially with superiors.
And punctuality.
Beyond important. Being late is a major offense. Shows disrespect for the group's time.
Teamwork over individual glory.
Very much so. Decisions are often made by consensus, and publicly disagreeing in a meeting is generally avoided. Need to maintain that harmony.
And you mentioned wa, harmony. What was the other concept? Haji.
Yes, haji, basically. Avoiding shame or embarrassment, both for oneself and for others. A lot of etiquette revolves around being very considerate, paying attention to subtle cues and details to ensure smooth, respectful interactions.
Fascinating. Okay, one more stop. South Korea.
South Korea also has very strong etiquette norms with a huge emphasis on age and seniority.
Right. Respect for elders seems central. How does that play out at mealtime?
Elders eat first. Always wait for the oldest person at the table to pick up their spoon or chopsticks before you start.
Okay. And seating.
The youngest person often sits closest to the door or in the least honored seat, and a big one. Don't lift your rice bowl off the table while eating.
Really? Why not?
It can be seen as resembling begging historically, so keep the bowl on the table.
Wow. Okay. What about drinks?
Always offer to refill others' drinks if you see they're getting low, especially elders. And when someone pours for you, hold your cup or glass with both hands to receive it.
Both hands again. And when drinking with elders?
It's polite to turn your head slightly away from them as you sip, a sign of respect. Also, don't pour your own drink.
Why not?
It can seem a bit arrogant or unsociable. Someone else should pour for you, and you pour for others. It fosters interaction. Oh, and use spoons and chopsticks separately. Spoon for rice and soup, chopsticks for side dishes.
Got it. Language is important too, right? Showing respect.
Absolutely. Use formal language, 존댓말, with elders or people you don't know well. Don't just use first names. Add honorifics like C after a full name or 님 after a title or position.
Okay, greetings.
A bow or a nod is common. A handshake might happen in business settings, often lighter than a Western one.
Shoes off indoors?
Yes, like Japan, take shoes off. But also, avoid being barefoot. Showing your bare toes can be seen as impolite. Wear socks or use guest slippers if provided.
Oh, interesting detail. And paying for things.
Hand the money or card to the cashier, preferably with both hands if possible, but avoid just placing money directly on the counter. It can feel a bit dismissive, like you're throwing it at them.
Subtle difference. First meetings.
Bow or light handshake. Use titles, Mr., Mrs., or professional titles, until invited to be more casual. And like Japan, avoid prolonged direct eye contact, especially with elders during conversation. It can be seen as challenging or disrespectful. And giving or receiving anything important, gifts, business cards.
Use both hands. Consistent theme there for showing respect in East Asia.
Definitely. Workplace in Korea.
Also, very hierarchical. Heavily influenced by Confucian values. Follow your boss's instructions.
And in meetings.
Listening is often more valued than speaking up frequently. Publicly questioning or disagreeing with a superior isn't common. Harmony and respect for the hierarchy are key.
Overtime and team dinners seem common too.
Yeah. Participating in hueshik, team dinners and drinks, is often seen as important for building relationships and showing commitment to the team.
Strong focus on the group and respect for elders and authority, but also expect generous hospitality in social settings.
Wow. Okay, my head is spinning a little. That was an incredible whirlwind tour of etiquette. So many fascinating differences.
Right. Who knew this simple act of, like, holding your chopsticks or sipping your soup could carry so much cultural weight?
It really makes you think, doesn't it? How much culture shapes our everyday interactions, often in ways we don't even realize.
It truly does. Hopefully, understanding some of these nuances gives everyone a bit more insight, helps us navigate our increasingly connected world with, a bit more awareness and respect.
Absolutely. Or at the very least, maybe you picked up some fun facts to impress your friends next time you're out.
Could be. And of course, this was just a quick snapshot. Every country, every region has its own unique details.
Totally. We only covered a few places where lots of you are listening. If we didn't mention your country, or if you have other cool etiquette rules from these places we missed, please tell us in the comments. We genuinely love hearing about them.
Yes, please do. Your firsthand insights are fantastic and help everyone learn.
And that's our deep dive for today. We really hope you found it as interesting as we did digging into it all.
It was fascinating.
Before we totally wrap up, just a quick shout out to our good friend Micky. Go check out his YouTube channel. It's called Mickytolife. He's always got some fun and interesting stuff going on over there.
Yeah, definitely check him out. Good stuff.
All right, everyone. That is all the time we have for this particular deep dive.
Thanks so much for joining us today.
Until next time, host, speaker, and expert speaker, keep it classy.